The way that I'm connecting with God and Jesus during this time of isolation is when I go for my walks. I put my headphones on, I'll walk for about an hour or so, and I'll just listen to worship music and just have that time alone with God, me and him, and kind of speak my truth, kind of say what I'm thankful for at this time, and remember that I'm so blessed in my situation because it could be so much worse, but also kind of give him my worries and my thoughts at this time so that I don't become overwhelmed. I've also been praying a lot more, kind of turning to God in times where I would normally distract myself with other things, but because I can't, it's allowed me to be a lot more focused on him and our relationship.
I feel like I've connected more with God through music. Being at home every second of every day means I can blast music out in my room, and it just makes it feel like one long worship sesh, which is nice.
I have been using the one exercise a day to go on a really long walk. I love being outside. Something I probably wouldn't be able to do ordinarily is go outside as much. So I've definitely been loving that and taking it as time to refresh, re-energise and connect with God.
I see him in the little things in the day that sort of make me unexpectedly happy. Having the sun come out, getting away from someone you didn't expect. There's a lot of kindness that's coming out of people. Although I think I feel it most in isolation when it becomes really overwhelming. You know, I have those moments where I have to close my eyes and just breathe, and I can feel that hand on my shoulder telling me that it's going to be okay, this is not forever. And that's definitely when I connect with him the most.
I love this daily devotional. I read it every morning, and it's just a great way to get encouraged. The weekly prayers the young adults have is also really a great way to seek God together in prayer and just unite as one and bring all our burdens onto Jesus. And finally, Growth Track has challenged me so much, and it's I'm growing and discovering who I am in Christ, and I've learned so much, and it's been very challenging emotionally and spiritually. But one thing I will always remember is that who I am is rooted in who I'm becoming and not in my past.
Mainly through Bible studies online with a lot of my friends and some people from the church, and I found them really good because you still feel God's presence even though we're not actually in the same room as other people. We still feel we're connecting with each other and connecting with God.
I feel like a lot of times it's from the nature. Like there was this one time when I couldn't sleep until 3 or 4 in the morning. Suddenly I heard the sound of a bird chirping, and I was like, whoa, at that hour. But just like that, I realized that I'm not alone. Like God is there with me. I can really feel his presence. And it's just the same as when I'm watching the blue sky or the stars, or that smell of the earth after it rains. Those little things make me feel like, so grateful that I have such an amazing God. And yeah, it's kind of like that song by Hillsong, which says, if creation sings your praises, so will I.
One of the ways that I have been trying to get closer to God during this time has been through multitasking, so whereby I'm still able to place God first whilst I'm still studying or whilst I'm still doing work. So by listening to sermons, listening to gospel music whilst I'm in that little zone, or whilst I'm in that little space of mine. A Bible study group that my friends and myself are a part of. It's called Ladies and the Word. We meet up every 2 weeks and basically discuss female characters in the Bible, and obviously the things that we can learn from them based on their lives and decisions that they made.
I think one of the biggest things for me at the moment is just being, I think for all of us, being blessed with the amazing weather that we've had. The fact that the only thing that I can one of the only things that I look forward to now in the day is being able to go outside and actually have a walk during the day. It's amazing because I've been able to start praying with my mum when I go on these walks in the morning, which I don't pray with my mum. So this is an incredible thing. Previously I'd been so distracted by trying to figure out what I'm doing, but not really seeing what God's doing.
I've cleared out a space in my house, which I've dedicated as my war room, which I go to pray and connect with God. So each morning I wake up, for the first hour of my day, I just give God praise, sing worship songs, and really just go to war with some of my prayers. And my hope is that by the time I come out of this period, I will be a mighty prayer warrior.
In this isolation, I've actually started a devotional. I have never had a devotional before, but I really felt like I wanted to seek God more, and I thought that a devotional would be a really good way to put that practice in every single day. So that's been really good, and it's actually made me read the Bible a lot more than I have ever really done. I've also been following lots of God-filled Instagram accounts and YouTube personalities and people, basically. So in kind of the times where it might be a little bit less healthy in social media, I've been trying to fill that with safe spaces filled with godly information, encouragement, uplifting verses or sayings, and people who are just so drawn to God, and that's really helping me to be able to have that motivation in order to seek Him more.